Lad and the kids are over at my brother-in-law Tim's ranch working cattle, so I have grabbed this moment of calm to whip up some breakfast foods for my freezer. I'm starting with a batch of breakfast panini. Really delicious, and it's really fun to make them in big batches. I'm starting by buttering the bread generously, and that is the secret to these breakfast panini. Now, I've already got a batch in the panini maker. I actually built a sandwich with nothing inside, and that's what I'm gonna do for these freezer panini. Because the panini are gonna go into the freezer and be reheated, I didn't wanna put the fillings in and press them now. So I'm gonna let the toasted bread cool, then I'll fill them up with the breakfast ingredients, and then I'll pack them for the freezer. That way, when I heat them up, the cheese will be freshly melted and just perfect. So I'm putting 4 slices in the panini maker, butter side down, of course, and then I'll put the second piece of bread, butter side up, on top of each one. So I'll close the lid. Now that's just gonna take a few minutes to get done. Now the toast will have plenty of time to cool, and that'll give me time to whip up the filling for the panini. This is gonna be a ham, cheese, and green chili batch of panini. I have a skillet of butter, and I wanna heat up the ham first for no other reason than to just get some good color on the outside. So I'm gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna whip up the egg mixture for the panini. I've got a whole bunch of eggs in a pitcher, and I'm adding a generous amount of half and half. I'll sprinkle in salt and pepper, and I'll give this a really good whisk. It'll be my morning workout routine. Usually my morning workout does involve food in some way. Okay, the egg mixture is nice and smooth. So I will check on the ham. I can already tell it's getting really brown. And I'm gonna turn the heat back down. So now it comes out of the skillet. Oh, I love sizzly cooked ham. See those little brown bits around the edge? There are some beautiful juices from the ham in the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit more butter. And now that the heat is a little bit lower, I'm gonna pour in the egg mixture. This is a lot of eggs, but I am building 12 panini, so I'm definitely gonna use it all. Now, I'll just let them cook. This would be a good time for us to peek in on Lad and the kids and see how they're doing.
Pepper!
We're just putting them into this tub right here and then taking a few at a time up the chute, and then we gotta like work them and give them shots and just stuff like that. And then after that, we'll put them back with their moms and take them back to their pasture. It's pretty simple, but you have to do each calf at a time. That's the hard part, so. And with these dummies, it's always really slow. Right, move, or you're gonna get crushed. Right.
Things are moving along out on the ranch and here in the kitchen. The eggs are beautifully scrambled, so I'm gonna turn the heat off. I'm gonna take them out, and I want them to cool just like I wanted the ham to cool. Cheese doesn't melt well twice, so I don't want it to melt now because later, when I warm up the breakfast panini, it will have already melted and it just won't be as creamy and delicious. So every panini has to have a delicious spread. This one has a base of mayonnaise, probably about half a cup. And I'll sprinkle in a little salt. You know me, hot sauce. I always find an excuse to add it to whatever I'm making. And then it's so nice for this mayo to have a nice zip of lime. So I'll squeeze in the juice. Now I'll stir this together. It looks good. All right, good to go. Now I'm gonna start building these. I'll grab 2 slices of bread, open them up, spread sauce on both pieces, a piece of Monterey Jack on both pieces. Then comes the ham, a good amount of scrambled eggs, a roasted green chili, and the top goes on. Now I'll fold up the foil and just wrap them tightly. And that's one panini done. Let me build the rest of them, and while I do, I'm gonna tell you how to heat them up straight out of the freezer. I'll put the panini on the sheet pan in their foil and bake them at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Take them out, unwrap them, cut them, and serve them up. I packed up 8 for the freezer. I'm gonna leave 4 out to warm them up for Lad and the kids later. My day is off to a great start.